had a weird experience this morning. Pretty weird. I was sitting there doing my work, like 3 in the morning. I think it was 4. 4 o'clock this morning, sitting there at the computer, and it's downstairs in the dining room. Mm-hmm. And now I'm used to having my kid, my oldest son, little Bill, sort of up and around at that time of the day. He works at the haunted house, Fear Factory, and then he comes home at, I don't know, midnight or 1, and then he's usually up for a while. And so a lot of times he's still up while I'm working. But I hear noise from the back door, and it opens, and I go, what the hell? And in comes my son and his girlfriend, and I said, what's going on here? And he said, it sort of scared me. He said, I didn't mean to scare you. We've been up at the hospital. What? What's going on? So apparently his girlfriend, she was acting in the haunted house last night. Now, she doesn't live here in Utah, but she's here for a visit, and she used to work at the Fear Factory, and so she kind of a guest appearance. And apparently she hit her head and cut it open a little bit and got a concussion. And they had to go to the emergency room. But here they are walking into the house, and she's still got on all of this monster makeup. It's like, what? And she said, oh, and here's a picture.
How can they tell what blood is real and what blood is not?
Well, I know. She showed me a picture on her phone, and there's blood running down the front of her face, and she said, "That's real." God. Okay, it's gonna be okay. Yeah. I guess a concussion, though, you have to watch for a while, and but you've had several, haven't you, Gina?
I haven't had several. I've had one concussion, but it was a serious one.
I had a bunch of concussions when I was a kid, and I don't recall anybody doing anything about it other than saying, sleep it off.
No, they're like, especially with kids, like my kids have had them in sports and stuff, and they take it very seriously.
Yeah, they didn't when I was a kid. I had one I remember so bad that I threw up.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, and they said the first concussion I sort of remember having, I was probably in the 3rd grade, and it had one of those big, tall slides out on the playground. And I don't remember, but apparently I was on top of that slide and doing something stupid and fell off of the slide, the top of the slide, down onto the asphalt, which is, what they had for playgrounds back in the day at the school. And the only thing I remember is sitting on the steps of the school going, why am I sitting here? What's going on? Yeah, and then they told me that, and a teacher came out and said, they told the teacher what had happened, and the teacher said, well, you better go home. and they sent me home, walking
home?
Yeah, it was about a 15-minute walk to home. You better go home. Oh, okay. That's not what you do, is it?
No.
Yeah. And then I've had other concussions. Never went to the doctor.
Well, that explains so much.
I sometimes wonder. I used to say I would probably. I'm fairly intelligent, but I bet I'd be a genius if it weren't for growing up with leaded gasoline and having about 6 or 7 concussions.
You wouldn't be doing this job.
No, God, no. Be doing something productive and,
I'm surprised any of us survived.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you take a look
helmets and seat belts and
all the times that I rode in the back of a pickup truck.
Oh, yeah.
No seat belts.
No seat belts.
Yeah, speaking of haunted houses, there was one time in high school where about 10 of us climbed in the bed of a pickup truck and were driven to Salt Lake to go to a haunted house on a Saturday, just on the freeway.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure. Woohoo! Boy, this is fun. Yeah.
We had a cattle rack occasionally that was on the back of the pickup truck, that you could slide in the holes that were there. And I would stand up on top of the cattle rack while the car was going, while the truck was going down the highway. Yep. And, of course, there's the school, playgrounds, all blacktop.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, they don't. They do something that's kind of padded now for
Yeah,
school
it's
playgrounds,
like a
don't they?
rubber-
It's like a
rubberized.
Some sort of soft thing.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
Our kids are soft now.
That's right. God,
Got
when I
to
was
get
a
a couple
kid.
concussions to.
No
that's,
kidding.
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I wish I had that stuff.
Yeah.
I
Maybe-
probably would have played a little rougher
Yeah.
if I had a soft place to land. You know.
When I had the really bad concussion, I remember the one that caused me to, like, it made me sick to my stomach and I threw up. I got it because here's how do we survive. I used to think this was really fun. There's a grocery store down at the bottom of our street, maybe 3 blocks away, and there were delivery trucks, and they had on the back of the delivery truck a big wide bumper. So when the delivery guy had come out and get in the truck to start to go, I would jump on the back of the bumper to ride the truck, and it was it took me up past my house, and I jumped off while the truck was still going, and the driver didn't know I was there, and I jumped off, not realizing what momentum was, and and then just went backwards, full on the back of my head on the pavement of the street, just kind of knocked me out. I threw up, went in the house, told my mother what I did. She yelled at me, "Go to bed, go to bed, sleep it off."
Again, this explains so much.
Yeah,
The
my
decision
mother.
to do that.
My mother yelling at me.
Not that.
Oh no.
The decision, like maybe this would be a fun thing.
Well,
to
it
do.
was. It was fun.
But not thinking through.
No. No, you don't.
That's what I'm talking about.
No. It
Not
was
thinking it
It
through.
was great fun in the, I forget what we used to call it, in the winter at the church parking lot. And people would pull in their cars out. And some of them would let you do it, and some of them you'd just hook on real quick,
Yeah.
grab onto the bumper. You probably did this.
Yeah.
And, and slide in the snow on your shoes. And sometimes if the street was packed, you could get pretty far.
I was the one that was driving the car,
Uh,
while Brian Carson was the one hanging onto the back.
yeah, go ahead, Brian. Yeah, I'm not doing that.